Hi.
Greg, we wanted to talk about your career a little bit. You are a graduate of Killer School.
Yes, I am.
Which is in Malden, Mass. Am I right, Killer?
Yes.
Did you formerly have operations over in Salem? Did somebody tell me that?
I started my school in
Salem, Mass. And then moved down to Malden?
No, I moved down to Boston, YMCA Union there.
Right.
And from there I moved to where I'm at now,
right.
Malden.
And when did you come out of the school, Greg?
Let's see, I worked out with Walter probably around 1981, 1982. I won a couple bodybuilding contests, and I won a judo jacket championship, which is in judo.
Right.
And I was doing a feats of strength demonstration down Liberty Tree Mall in Danvers. I was laying on the ground. A friend of mine was going to pick up a car and drop it on my stomach. And Walter just happened to be there signing autographs that day. He was one of the guests. And so we started talking that day, invited me up to the school. And then I worked out with him for probably about 6 months to a year. And then he got me booked up in Montreal. And I worked up there for a while, and it was tough on me going up there, but I went up. They expected a lot of me because I was a protege of Walter. But one of the advantages was, coming from him and him having a reputation as a shooter and being a tough guy, I had a reputation as a tough guy, and I never did anything to prove it. So it kind of made it easy on me. And from Montreal, I came down. I worked for him, and we had the tag team championships down here, and then went to Texas and went to Florida. And traveled around a little bit.
And that's a good point. We've talked about the WWF and now the WCW, which is Ted Turner's competing league. But there's a lot of wrestling that still goes on the regional level, isn't there? There's a lot of wrestling shows.
A lot of independent promotions.
Right.
They're not huge, big, but they're caught up with WCW, and they can use one or two of their wrestlers to help draw the crowd.
Right.
They'll try to get one or two wrestlers from WWF.
Right.
And of course, they have to pay to get the superstars, have to pay big money.
Right.
So you have to try to, usually telemarketers work the crowd,
right.
help with the drawing crowd and the people and that. So I do fundraisers for people, for firemen's associations and the police associations. I try to do fundraising for them. I helped out, and I run good shows. In fact, one time quite often people come up to me and say, "Boy, your wrestling shows you put on much better than what we see on TV."
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right. Well, like you said earlier, because you were one of the very first big, agile athletes who sped the whole sport up and made guys have to sort of compete for their lives while they were in there with you. Let's see what Tom has to say. Hi, Tom. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
How are you tonight?
Hi.
Was it Andre the Giant?
No, it was not.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's quick. Let's talk about Andre. One of the really memorable characters, wrestlers who ever came through the WWF.
That's right.
Andre Giant.
Well, he first came from France. He came to Montreal. I was the local champion, their version of world champion there. So I look at this guy. He was 7'4" or so, and his shoulders were broad. And I wrestled him in the ring. If the people are behind him, they can't even see me.
Right.
That's how big this guy was.
Huge.
I was 6'7", but he was so wide, and I thought he'd hide me. I'd be hidden in the ring.
Right.
So he was a very, very good adept wrestler.
Yeah.
And we were in the office one time. We went there to get paid. He looks at me and he starts talking to me in Polish. For crying out loud, this guy's another Polak. Like that. So
let's take a chance to correct some history. Hulk Hogan claims that he's the first and only wrestler ever to pick up Andre the Giant and slam him.
True.
I want you to correct that. That's not true, is it?
I have slammed Andre the Giant myself.
You did it.
I did.
And you picked him up long before Hulk Hogan ever came.
Well, I don't know if
Hulk Hogan was still wet nursing with his mother when you did that, wasn't he?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I did slam Andre the Giant before Hulk Hogan, because when Hulk Hogan came on the scene, I was already retired.
Right.
So I did slam Andre the Giant before Hulk Hogan.
And there was somebody before Hulk Hogan, and after Walter is Harley Race, who was a National Wrestling Alliance champion.
Right.
He also slammed Andre the
That's
Giant.
Southern Circuit, isn't it?
Well, at the time, the NWA was actually larger than the World Wrestling Federation. This would have been back in the 70s when wrestling was more regionalized. Each area would have their own champion.
Was
You know,
that
for instance,
Jack
Florida.
Briscoe in that group?
Yeah,
Jack
Florida would
Briscoe,
have their own
right.
champion.
Yeah.
Texas
Yeah.
would have their own
Right.
champion, and Dothan, Alabama would have their own champion.
I didn't know how
And
they
they- yeah.
that strongly slammed
Yeah,
Andre the
he
Giant.
slammed him also.
It looks like we've got maybe another protege of yours or somebody that might know Greg. Kevin the Butcher.
Hello, Killer Kowalski.
Welcome to the
Butcher
show.
Hughes.
Richard Hughes.
Time no see, Killer.
Yeah,
Who are you? I got the answer, Killer.
you got the answer?
Was it Big John Studd, Chuck O'Connor?
There you go.
That's him.
That guy, I like that Chuck
Big
O'Connor.
John Studd.
Yeah,
Wasn't he a big guy, Killer?
how's that?
Big John Studd. He was great, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I got him first time in wrestling.
Let me tell
Was
you
it Bartz from
something. I missed him
California?
down in Salem.
I thought so.
Everybody over in Maria's Pizza in Beverly wants to say hello to you.
Thank you.
We miss you, Walter.
Thank you very much.
And I'm glad you're wrestling. These guys today, Hulk Hogan and all the rest of them, they couldn't carry your bag.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you
Let
very
me
much,
tell you
Kevin.
something. This guy, Killer Kowalski, he's #1 in professional wrestling.
Thank you very much, Kev.
And
bet.
let me tell you guys, you got one of the greatest ever there. I am glad I got to see this show tonight.
You know, I was,
Thank you.
Kevin, I was saying before the show, if my father had his wish in life, he'd like to meet and talk with Ted Williams. I'm getting mine tonight, meeting Killer Kowalski. I have great memories of him from the Garden, and
Oh, I used to see
just
him
a
over
great,
at
great
the
wrestler.
Armory. Let me tell you.
Right.
This guy, they couldn't carry his bags, these guys today.
Oh,
Go ahead, Kevin, say it. They couldn't carry his junk. We'll let you say it.
I'll tell you what,
When
Butcher Hughes, he was no
Kowalski
slouch.
come
Yeah.
into a town,
Yeah.
they'd get that claw hold on you, and that would be the end of it. That place would pop.
You want to show us what the claw just quickly on Sean?
I
Put
still
the
use
claw
the
on him, Killer. Put the claw on him.
Yeah. Was it a piece of poison stuff?
I still use the claw hold.
You still use it?
Very gently on women only, though.
On women only. They're delivering. Kevin, hold on the line. You speak to...
Now, Greg was mentioning.
Kevin was a very professional wrestler.
Yes, he was.
Yes,
When I was in fundraising shows, I had him on a card.
Really?
It was great.
and I was afraid that Walter was going to book against Kevin because I was scared to death of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you guys, we're still going. We got the AWA, and we're up in Hudson, New Hampshire this Saturday night, 8 o'clock. First time ever, a 20-man battle royal cage.
Oh,
Wow.
Kevin, number, I'd really like to give you a call.
Because you guys got Killer Kowalski. He's the greatest.
hey, Kevin. You're going to talk to Sable, and she'll take your phone number so we can pass them on to Greg, okay?
Okay, I'm going
And it's this Saturday in
this Saturday night at
Hudson.
Hudson Men's Hall,
Right.
Route 111.
And it's a 20 battle in a cage?
20-man battle royal cage. It's the first time ever.
Over the top? Or do you have to
Oh, you've got to be out of it. If you pulled out of the cage.
Out of the cage.
Once you're out of it, somebody will pull you in. Whoever wins the match will be in line for a title shot at the next show in Hudson
All right.
at the Lions Hall. They get the pretty good turnouts up, and they help the kids out with the lot.
Great.
It's a good cause. And let me tell you again, Killer Kowalski, it's nice to see you. He was a gentleman in the scorer, and he's the greatest.
Keep watching because I'm going to have him put the call on Sean in a little while.
Okay, I'm waiting for that, baby.
All right.
Somebody get it.
Hold on the line. Don't hang up.
Okay.
All right. See you, Butcher. Great guy, huh?
Yes.
Sean, want to fire off another trivia question?
Sure.
Now that we've got that one cleared out?
Name the former wrestling legend who is currently the governor of the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
Okay? And the
Everybody
prize.
knows that.
I want to get into that later. So, yeah.
And the prize there is 6 free bagels at the Hot Street Dunkin' Donuts. Okay?
A bagel's in your diet, Killer? You don't eat bagels, do
I
you?
don't eat much.
You're a vegetarian?
bread, yeah.
You're a vegetarian.
Sometimes I don't eat hamburgers.
Right,
So,
Right.
yeah.
I want to take a moment to mention a couple of things that...
for you. One, I know that Erwin, our producer, I think he put the on Erwin too.
we go, yes.
March 26th, the Masonic.
Hall in... where is that Masonic Hall, Erwin? Where is Masonic Hall? In Danvers. You will be doing an autograph session from 11 to 2.
Yes.
So anybody in Danvers who wants to come down and meet you, you promise you won't crush their hand when they shake hands? You promise?
Yes.
All right. Can you have your autograph?
And also, you're doing something for the fun.
At St. Adelaide's Church in Peabody on May 22nd. We'll be having a time over there. And there's going to be the Honky Tonk Man and Doink the Clown. Honky Tonk Man is the Intercontinental Champion. Is he not current?
He
Years ago, right. And this is all for the benefit of the Jimmy Fund, which might be the best reason to get together around here. The Jimmy Fund.
I'll be there too.
So that's May 22nd, 7 to 10 a.m. I'm sorry, p.m.
Can't even read my own writing. 7 to 10 p.m. at St. Adelaide's in Peabody, which is actually Peabody, I guess. Everyone. So,
Yes, very good.
you know, I wanted to talk a little about
wrestling today. First of all, I would tell you, in preparation for the show, we typed your name into the internet
to see how many. I got over 500
matches for your name and websites or other things that related to you. I just thought you might like to know that.
Wow.
500 websites with Killer Kowalski after professional wrestling.
So you go out there, Killer. I mean, out there.
As I said earlier in the show, I think for a lot of the people that are watching, younger kids especially, that wrestling really began with Hulk Hogan, that he was the first person in the modern era that really kind of put it on the map. I remember when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated back in the 1980s, and it was such a big thing. But it's become even bigger now. And back in 1991, Ted Turner rolled out the WCW, which competes directly with Vince McMahon's WWF. And you know, I was watching last night. I was sitting at home with my wife, and I made her watch, and I was telling her I was doing a little show research, and I've got to be honest with you, Killer. Watching the shows last night, it is so much more flash, pyrotechnics, introductions, waltzing around the ring. In other words, the sport of wrestling is almost taking a backseat to the characters and the personalities and the clashes and the feuds that are going on in the sport right now. Am I seeing that properly?
Yes, you are, yeah. See, but some people, like Hulk Hogan, tremendous charisma. He's very, very good. He's a good man, too. I met him personally. He is a very, very good man. No matter what his character is in the ring, maybe he's a villain right now, but outside he's a very nice person. And I think someone asked me, I was on the TV program one time, if I was to wrestle Hulk Hogan, and I was in the shape I was in my day, how would I make out against him? As he ground me to the ground, beat me right up. After the program was over, why'd you say that? I said, what do I have to gain?
Right.
I've lived my day.
Right.
It's his turn.
Let's black the cameras out right now. This is off the record.
No.